Hello, this is Bini here. Last video, I've covered about using moving averages to look at the support and resistance, to look at the trend. Basically, the whole idea is to have moving averages to provide a visual inspection, a very quick, fast overview about what's happening to prices. I would like to, in this video, talk about how to apply this to other examples like case study, and today I'm looking at Lion-Phillip S-REIT ETF. So let's talk about what is ETF. ETF is exchange traded funds. So instead of buying mutual funds, that means these are funds that's listed in the exchange, so it's listed in SGX. Then what is then S-REITs? S-REITs is Singapore REITs. So instead of buying just one REITs, then this is a fund that has many multiple different Singapore REITs inside, and this is being listed in SGX in an exchange, and that's why it's an ETF. So instead of just buying one REIT, you can buy the ETF, and that lets you have exposure into the different REITs that this ETF is holding. I just included a list of some of the top holdings of this ETF here. You can see in the screen here right now. So let's go back into the moving averages usage. As I said, it provides a very good visual inspection. But one thing about this is that particular to REITs, I would like to set the data modifications to adjust data for dividends. Okay, so this is because for REITs, it is paying dividends every quarterly or every half yearly. So it's very important to consider the REIT prices and to adjust that for the dividends it's paying, because predominantly we get into REITs to receive that regular dividend payout. Now, if you take a look at the weekly chart, then the first inspection was that it was moving higher here, and then later on the moving average seems to be slanting down, and there was an attempt to break above the moving averages, but then it just sort of fall back like this one here, and then it broke through the moving averages again. And right now, based on visual inspection, it seems to suggest that prices are above the cluster of moving averages here. And note that because this is a weekly chart, so these are the weekly moving averages. Okay, so for example, if you see this, let's say for example this is a 34 moving average, for example, then this would be a 30-week moving average in this time frame here. So based on inspection, then we know that the prices, they are above the moving averages. Okay, they're all above the moving averages here, and the moving averages are generally slanting upwards. Okay, in other words, from a technical point of view, then the prices generally trading here, they are trading higher than what we've seen in the past. So this is the understanding of what the moving averages are telling us. That means that investors and traders are willing to pay a higher price on the average versus what we've seen in the past. With this, then let's take a look at the day. So this is the daily time frame. Again, on the visual inspection, for this period here, that was around 2025, the first half of 2025, prices are below the moving averages, and then starting from here, prices starts to trade above the moving averages. Even with the sharp decline that we've seen here, so this is that sharp decline. However, the moving averages are generally still slanting upwards, you see, slanting upwards. This is what I mean by slanting upwards. That means that over a period of time, the prices at this moment here, despite that it is dropping, still trading at the average higher than in the past. So this is what we understand from the moving averages, and that currently the prices have broken out, or rather, initially it was being like trapped below the moving averages, and then recently the prices are above the moving averages, suggesting that right now investors and traders are willing to pay a higher price than the average price in the past period. I hope that this video is useful. Just to sum up, that what I like to do is I like to use the moving averages as a visual inspection, and I like to switch between the weekly time frame and the daily time frame for stocks. Whether it's ETF, indexes, or stocks, these are the 2 time frame that I'm using. And I'm not really very particular about the moving averages setting, but I do like to use combinations. For example, from the shorter time frame to the mid time frame. Shorter time frame will be about 10 to 20 period, mid would be about 50, and then the higher period would be about 100 to 200. Alright, hope that this video is useful, and if you have not watched the earlier video, please remember to watch that, because I cover some of the elements of moving averages and the use of it also there. Alright, thank you, and I see you in my next video, and remember to click the subscribe button.